Yo, what's up guys, it's Skills, and today, this is actually the updates for the new maintenance that will be coming out to Global. Now, I'm actually surprised that they're doing this. Now, I do want to say I apologize for not uploading for like the past 3 days. I just needed a break from everything, just needed to calm my mind and stuff like that. But essentially, we have some good stuff coming out and some, I think, good stuff, or expecting good stuff because of what's going to happen. So as you see it on the screen itself, 2 new heroes are being added to the game, which you already know, MELASCULAS. Now, I had a feeling MELASCULAS was actually going to come out sometime soon, just to make sure like they understood that it just had to keep on going on with all the demons and stuff coming out. So I'm expecting MELASCULAS. Then most likely after that, Monspeed. I believe Monspeed might be the next one. But the thing is, this game actually just changed it from JP compared to now with Global. JP had the first MELASCULAS, a blue MELASCULAS, which is the 10 Commandments one, come out way before the Elite Demon one. So this one's the blue one, the other one I believe is a red one, and the other one, the first one that you're seeing, the Elite Demon, was actually a coin shop one if I believe correctly. This is the red one right here, as you see on the screen. This is a coin shop one. This is the one that was on its own banner, which, as you see real quick, I just want to play it because it was pretty hype for me. But
oh yes, we got MELASCULAS. We'll take that because actually that's worth it. I don't care. That's actually.
alright, so as you saw, I did summon MELASCULAS before whenever her banner was out, which it's pretty crazy. So it's cool that she's coming out now, but I think this is one of the banners that it's worth not summoning on and just saving, because she'll be on other banners, so it's not like you have to worry about anything. But just to talk about her herself, she's not really the greatest unit at all, but just to have both units to come out, which is really weird in my opinion. But anyways, there's new events, Burning Hatred pickup draw, which will be the pickup draw that will be for the MELASCULAS, because I believe, what I'm assuming is that these two will be on the same banner. So if that's what's going to be like, then expect that. Then you have the power up spin event, so a new event, and then global drop for the spin tickets. So I guess more stuff is coming out now. Also, the Einik, or I guess it's Einik, yeah, that's what you can call it, he has an extreme battle coming out as well in the guilds. So you normally have hard and normal, which are easy to do. Extreme, I believe, might be 170,000 CC. I don't remember correctly, but that might be 170,000 CC. So for the people who actually play this really crazily and have 170,000 CC, this is probably your best bet. If you don't, then this is gonna be tough, because extreme is gonna get you more rewards from that from the actual guild boss itself, because I believe it goes up to 2,400 at one point. So just keep in mind that it's gonna be tough, so just keep that in mind. Now, there's other things coming out for the engravings. MELASCULAS, Grimoire, Alioni will be coming out as well for engravings, which is UR gear, so keep that in mind as well. And then you have other stuff that you can go to your friend's tavern to eat food and stuff like that. The Fighting DN, the creator one, the green one, is going to be put into the race straw 1 for the pool. New title hero, Leonis, new bundle will be coming out as well, and then all the ending stuff that just happened for the 100-day is all leaving. So keep that in mind. If you are still summoning on the banner for Lilia, go on with it. It's a really good banner to summon for, because honestly, this banner is probably not gonna be as good as we think. But to talk about the units themselves, MELASCULAS, the blue one, she's decent. So the first unit, right, like the first card right here, she does 220% damage with 1 skill. Her second and third skill do the same thing. Well, third skill is 360%, but it infects, which infect is the same thing that the red demon Meliodas does with the second skill. It restricts recovery related stats, so that's what she's good for there. Her second attack is actually an attack all, so this technically would have been really good for the what do you call it, for the Gother boss, I guess, if you would have used this, because it applies detonate, which is additional damage per orb in the target's ultimate move gauge. So this, I mean, honestly, this might be a really good unit to try for the boss battle for Gother. Honestly, this probably might be really good. So this is attack all, so that's really good. At least that's there just in case. And then I mean, this is an attack all, but at least it's some damage as well. Her ultimate inflicts damage equal to 560% of attack on one enemy, and life steals 40% of the damage. So life steals the same way how Bond does it, heals for a portion of damage dealt, which is really good. But I don't think her ultimate does as much damage as we'd expect. Her passive, it increases basic stats of the hero by 1% for each ultimate gauge orb allies and enemies have. So 1% for each orb, for each ultimate gauge orb allies and enemies have, which meaning if you're fighting the Gother boss battle, for example, because I think this might be a really good unit for that. You can actually use, I believe, all the enemies there. So 5, 10, 15% increase on basic stats if each enemy has that. But I mean, that's like really unrealistic, just because you'll have like Lily on the team, which can take away those ultimate engage orbs. But just keep in mind, like maybe like 7 to 10% at most. Her commandment now. Commandments, this is something PvP based, so just know that if you're using like 2 commandment units on the same team, whatever's on the left side is going to get the commandment unlocked compared to the right side. That's how it works. But basically, this applies 2 ignite effects for 5 turns on allies and enemies who did not use any skills at the end of every turn in PvP. So if you don't use any skills, the ignites are put on to you, so just be careful with that. So but that's like unrealistic, as honestly, because unless you have like Gother, unless they have Gother on the team, they just steal your attacks, then that's different. That's unfortunate, so just keep that in mind. Now let's go on the second one though. The second card, the red one, is going to do a Scorch, which it was a little bit different for a mechanic, but it increases damage dealt by 25% per ignite on the target. So the more ignites, the more damage, which does 160%, 240, and 400% on the rank 1, 2, and 3. Her second skill is a debuff. So intakes was something different as well. So what intakes is that it decreases the enemy's max HP by a certain amount and recovers this unit's HP by the amount decreased for 1 turn. I believe it's something like lifesteal technically if you consider it that way, but this is 8% of all enemies max HP, 12 and 20% of max HP on all enemies. So she can basically be self-sufficient with this, so that's really good. Just keep in mind. So you know, this might be pretty decent. Her passive and stuff might be a little confusing, but we'll talk about that soon. Her ultimate is the same thing with the way the blue one is, so keep that in mind. Nothing too crazy with her, but her ultimate probably wouldn't do as much damage as we're expecting to. Her commandment is the same exact thing. Applies 2 ignites effects on 4 turns on allies and enemies who did not use any skills at the end of every turn in PvP. And then you have this passive right here. So when another ally that is not MELASCULA dies, grant a removable buff that makes the ally stay at 1 HP for 3 turns. This effect only activates once the buff is removed when MELASCULA dies. If more than 2 allies die at the same time, the leftmost ally will be the revival target. So essentially the unit can revive back, which is like, let's just say on your first card on the left side, first unit, then this one would, that's the unit that'll be revived. So her passive is a little weird, but it does have really good effects for PvP. So keep that in mind if you play PvP a lot. This could be really good. Now I've never actually used her on PvP, so I can't really say too much, but we'll definitely check her out if we do get her, because I don't know, I'll see. I don't think if the banner has Escanor and Blue Demon Melee, which they most likely will, there might be maybe like 1 or 2 multis to do, maybe. But the thing is, this banner is not a step up or anything like that, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't yeah, it's just a normal pickup draw. So I think personally to skip, these units aren't something I would use. If you're probably going to go for really high points on Gother boss battle, this might be a good unit for that because of her second skill, and then her passive could be really helpful as well. So I don't know, we'll see. These units can be very confusing now just because Global they just do completely different things. So I can't really say too much on that until you actually see the units in play. So hopefully you guys are excited for all this new stuff that will be coming out to Global. Definitely gonna cover everything on this game, like I said I would, and then just continue playing the game itself. But these 2 units, I personally think is gonna be a skip. I really feel like you guys should save these units, just because the next couple units that probably will come out are going to be most likely like Estarossa, which is going to be both of these, and I recommend the green one is a much better unit, and I'm probably gonna make a full video on this sometime soon, maybe the next day or so, about which are the best demon units in the game, and Estarossa is definitely one of them. So I expect maybe this Estarossa to come out really soon, so we'll see, because this one's actually the better one out of the other, because the other Estarossa is kind of trash, so the 10 Commandments one, so we'll see. It seems like these coin shop units are a little bit better than their counterparts, so we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Maybe it was a little helpful. If it wasn't, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like on this video if you guys are excited for all this news that is coming out to the game. I will definitely be covering all the stuff that will be coming out later on. And we'll look at the banner and stuff like that for the next for the update whenever it comes out, and we'll definitely be talking about all the other news that I expect to come out, and hopefully you guys are excited for all of that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. If you guys think Melascula is worth summoning for, explain to me why. I personally think it's not going to be worth it. Save your gems for maybe the couple next units, because I'm expecting Red Escanor has to come out at some point. I'm telling you, Red Escanor has to come out at some point, because if not, then it's going to be completely weird in how PvP is going to be set up and just all that. Because right now, the teams that are running in PvP are like straight up Valencia teams and then just the pen teams. So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys are excited. I am somewhat excited. I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty excited to see what is coming on in the future for this game. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Have a great day.